What do you think then is some of the obstacles that maybe men, women, and people in general face when it comes to taking responsibility of their emotions or understanding their emotional intelligence?
Well, there's a lot of obstacles to get that with sexes and all kinds of different cultures and different backgrounds and all kinds of different things. But the one thing that is the truth is that we're all one human species and we're here on this earth together, and we have to learn to be loving with each other and unconditional. And unconditional is easy for a dog to do. It's so easy for animals to do. We can learn how to love from our dog. That's so easy. Dogs love unconditionally, and many animals do too. Not all. There a lot of most animals are on survival mode, but it's true. We as children, we were pretty unconditional. When we were children, we were present, we were loving, we didn't care really who we were around most of the time. But humans, well, which include adults, humans are everyone, but adults tend to ruin that, and they take away our innocence. They can do that, and the thing is that we believe that because something happened to us or we were treated a certain way or someone did something to us, that we're not innocent anymore. But we all are innocent. And for for women and men, I'm not a man, so I can't 100% speak to what men are supposed to do to take responsibility for their emotions and be more emotionally intelligent. But I do have some insight, but I think that men definitely, it would be more advisable for them to take guidance from another man who is wiser. Um, but from a woman perspective, it's really us learning how to feel value and worth by ourselves without a husband, without a partner or a boyfriend, or however someone wants to identify, if they're lesbians, if they're whatever the masculine and the feminine aspect is. It's just being by our individual selves and being okay with that. You know, in Eastern countries, they have more oneness, they have more community. There's a lot of community everywhere in the world, but there's more of an individualistic perspective in the US. And in That's mostly Western culture, but Eastern culture is mostly community based. And the word's escaping me. Oh my gosh. I'm not even thinking of the word. Do you know what I'm talking about? How they
I
work
think,
together?
yeah, they're working together because I think in other parts of the world, it's more community based where they pull together and there's a sense of community. You raise, let's say, for example, children, right? You're raising children at home, you're raising children outside, everyone pulls together. It is more of like a community. Whereas maybe where you and I live, it's more so individualized, right? I can do whatever it is I want, I can raise myself, even though sometimes people forget there's an impact to that type of mindset. I think that's where you're going with it.
Yeah, if the word comes to me, I'll say it again. I'm just not thinking of it right now for some reason, but I think that's important for all cultures that have a different way of practice of getting with ourselves and really sitting with our soul and sitting down to the lower level of our minds, which is where a higher power lives. I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual, and I still refer to that higher power as God. And within every single human being, the deepest depths of our mind and within our soul is our true self, our true nature, who we truly are, and where God is. And when we have that union, then it is easier to just be in communion, in community, and love with everyone. As humans, we are just supposed to have a life of joy. We are supposed to experience life in a very beautiful way. But the thing is not everyone can get to that in their lifetime. And that's okay. Most of my life, I suffered. Most of my life, I hated myself and I had a lot of issues with myself. And it wasn't until I started sitting with myself and being okay with being by myself and being who I am, which is still something I'm working on. Sometimes it's not easy, but most days, nowadays, it's a lot easier for me to be loving with myself. Because when we're loving with ourselves, we can be more loving with other people. And women, we have a different energy. We both have a masculine and a feminine energy within all of us. We both, like all humans, men and women, we both came from a man and a woman. So technically, we all are a man and woman. We just have different genitalia. And we do have slightly different hormonal fluctuations, or not fluctuations, but hormones. Every man has progesterone and estrogen, and every woman has testosterone. But the difference is that the amount, women have more progesterone and estrogen, men have a lot more testosterone. There's, that can fluctuate between, certain people because of some kind of imbalance, some kind of, brain chemistry or some kind of something, you know. We're not all 100% exact, but we do have different needs and we do have different energies. And when we can learn to tap into, alongside connecting with our soul and with a higher power, if we can learn to tap into both of our feminine and masculine energies, then that could make things a little bit easier for us on this earth. And also being as unconditional as possible is, as I was talking a little bit ago about how dogs are unconditional. It's like we have to be kind of conditional with humans because not all humans truly know themselves. A lot of people don't know who they are, and so they violate other people, they disrespect other people, they call people's names, whatever it is. We have war, we have all of these terrible things in this world that are completely unnecessary. And it's all because of this illusional belief that this is how we're supposed to get what we want. And there has to be some kind of power game of whatever. It's complicated, it's a complex thing. But a lot of people are really insecure, and that's okay because I fit into that too sometimes. You know, that's something that I work on every single day, but it's gotten so much better for me over time. And I don't know, I think just like part of emotional responsibility, again, is those things I said, connecting with our soul, connecting with God, connecting with our energy, and trying to be as unconditional as possible, letting ourselves off the hook, letting other people off the hook. Of course, be authentic and stick up for yourself when necessary. But there's just so much drama and all these psychological games that we play. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect with this either because I have my own psychology. We all have psychology, But over time, I've just gotten better and have, you know, let myself off the hook a lot more than what I used to, if that makes sense, and let other people off the hook more. But the thing is I'm still a little tiny human being that is not, I'm innocent and naive, and it's like I don't know everything. I don't know all these answers, but this is just like one perspective. And I still get anxiety, I still get overwhelmed, and I still have a hard time dealing with people. We're in a crazy world. How can we handle every single thing? We just gotta chill out.